Last year, Zwift Academy opened its doors, launching a groundbreaking worldwide talent search to find the next pro rider for Canyon SRAM racing. The competition exceeded all expectation. Over 1,200 women from 51 countries signed up to take the challenge in Zwift. In a truly grand finale, on the island of Majorca at Canyon SRAM's training camp, Leah Thorvaldsen of Little Rock, Arkansas, was crowned 2016 Zwift Academy champion and the newest member of Canyon SRAM Racing. This year, it could be you.
Oh wow, I could have a shot at a pro contract, but it's for anyone. It's a huge step forward in your own fitness, and so it's not all just about the one person who's going to get a pro contract. It's a win for everyone who's involved.
Zwift Academy is this great program where Zwift is trying to get the women more involved. It's just this huge, to me, a great community. There's women coming up going, I get how this could fit into my life.
What I think is so nice about Zwift Academy, I really think that it was inspiring lots of women to take part in this adventure. Maybe they've gone far beyond their own expectations.
How far I got in Zwift, there were 1,200 females that joined, and there were 100 females that finished Zwift, and I can't believe I was one of them.
Yes, it's hard, but come on, you can do it, you know, just do your best, because it's not just the physical side, it's the determination and to boost your confidence in anything else you do, not just cycling.
Find out how strong you really are. Find new friends from around the world. Find out if you have what it takes to go pro.
Do not wait, just follow your dreams.
Be the best cyclist you can be. Head over to academy.zwift.com to find out more and sign up today.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Nathan Garrett here from Zwift Community Live. We are covering the KISS Europe race tonight. They are doing, I believe, now it looks like earlier I thought we were going to be doing the what was the course was going to be the Volcano, and I believe we are doing the Volcano Flat Course again. For some reason I thought we were doing the counterclockwise. I thought that, but maybe that got swapped up. So it looks like we are back out on the Volcano Flat Course tonight. We had just had that this morning as well in the Kiss Down Under race. It does look like again the Innovation Boys have shown up to try and dominate the race out here today. They showed up this morning looking to throw down, and we'll see if they can do so again for 4 laps. This morning we did have, it looked like Aaron Dunn as well as Zawadzki able to take the W in the Kiss Down Under. Now in the Kiss Europe race, 4 laps out on the Watopia Volcano Flat Course. We do have, it looks like the A racers have gotten underway. Adam Webb is out there from Vision Cycling. We did see Brandon Meltingtalo as well. We saw these boys actually from KRT this morning as well out in force in the Kiss Americas as well as the Kiss Down Under race. So we do have Jay Lasaki, it looks like, here right along with Hodges. Hodges already racing this morning actually in that race. So good to see him out there doubling it up today after he was out there this morning for the the Kiss Americas race with Ian Anderson in our Racer Focus. So good to see that. For the doubling up, we'll see if Hodges has anything left in the legs. We do actually have, oh, I love this. So we do actually have a social media integration going on, and we already got some tweets coming at us right now. Actually, if you would like to get involved in the broadcast with us, if you have any questions about what you're looking at right here, if you have any comments, if you have a setup that you'd like to show us for your Zwifting, anything that you could bring in through Twitter, we can bring in. I think besides video, I'm not sure we can actually bring video in, or even sure we'd want to, but it looks like Taylor Zwift, one of our big fans out on Twitter, says the journey continues from London. Go Watopia to see the action on Go Zwift at Z Community Live. So and great little, the fans are on their way in the planes here, it looks like, on the way over to Watopia as the riders are heading underneath the Ocean Boulevard. If it's your first time checking out Zwift, this is actually a massive multiplayer online game where these riders are controlling their avatars through actual power that's being put out through their bikes right now, actually. So I can give you guys actually a shot of one of the riders that's out there on course right now, actually. We do have Mr. Brandon Meltingtalo actually with us for the race. Actually, he's actually a part of this lead group right now. Coming out of Canada, I've been actually commentating on this guy, I think, from the beginning of commentating on the racing. So it's good to see Brandon out there. And so from the live racing here, you can actually see this is what one of our riders that's out on course right now. Brandon's out there killing it, it looks like, so far. Well, killing it as far as like sitting in group, 260 watts, 141 beats per minute, keeping it calm. You can see the focus on the face there, though, what you need to do in order to hold on to the wheels and know that you're not going to be losing them. It's as far as racing out on Zwift, it definitely takes a lot of focus. Brandon giving us a thumbs up there. Good to see you there, buddy. Good job. And we'll come back to him for some of the real-life intensities that it takes in order to hammer away out on Zwift. Brandon is a part of the KRT team. We'll see if they can throw down and grab a win today. Hodges here, even after this morning, from the KRT team, going off the front. And definitely, as you can see here, these are the kind of efforts that it takes to go on these hills to follow those kinds of moves. We saw Brandon up and out of the saddle just now, so definitely the efforts are for real. And I love bringing in those call-ins from the racers to really get an idea of what it looks like, because when you're looking at the avatars and you see them get up out of the saddle and you're like, oh wow, that looks cool, what does that effort look like? But then in the upper left hand corner you're seeing up here those wattages and those heart rates, and you just see the metrics. But to see the metrics and how they go along with the power really brings it to life for us. And we're going to be able to see that more and more, I think, as we bring in more callers for the races here. But Hodges, it looks like, after the attack, back to the back of the pack here, hasn't really broken anybody off, it looks like, just yet. This morning, well, it does look like actually Gavin Thompson here from Innovation. The triple Gavins have shown up to the race here. We've got Thompson, we've got Gavin Arbor, and we've also got Gavin Richardson here. We'll see if Arbor's hung in here. 305 watts. Looks like he's a little higher than that tonight, so it looks like Gavin may be able to make this happen and not get dropped on any of the climbs or the flats out here today. But we'll see if he's able to take the W here for the Innovation boys today. 146, 147, things not too intense just yet. 151 heart rate there from Jay Lecoq from KRT. Curly, we're looking through here at 148. So the pack is definitely not going too hard just yet. Zahir Rahman is in the house saying, go Innovation. Good to see you here as well. Chris Loke is here saying, I'm taking the night off ahead of my real life race at the weekend, but the Innovation team should still be represented with some great riders too. They definitely are. We do see that for sure. Richard Morrow saying hello over at Zwift's Facebook. Good to see you. Hodges has just raced the XRS tonight also. Hodges is, oh my goodness, the guys get like 3 hours of racing in tonight or today. Just out on Watopia. I mean, that's absolutely insane. 3 races in one day. Nice going, Hodges. He keeps on getting stronger throughout the day. If he can even be involved in the race after the first lap, I'm going to be super, super impressed. Absolutely crazy. We also see Fleetwood in here as well. For a flatter course, I think this might be able to favor Fleetwood, but we're seeing him at 170 beats per minute already, so we'll see if he can hang on with the fast boys up toward the front. Barnett's here as well at 173. That's definitely going to be up into more of a serious effort out on course here. No heart rate here coming from Gavin Thompson. He's going to have to get that fixed most likely. You got to have a heart rate monitor in order to have a result in the A category. Timothy Termont, good to see you over at the Facebook as well. We do see a whole lot of, it looks like, comments coming through over at the Mixer. And Minute Wave, I'm going to have to time you out, buddy, just because all of the Y's there, unless you're done and no longer. Oh, it looks like it was already done there, so thanks a lot. Good to see you, Ender Lovers, hanging out. Jeff as well. How's it going? Sorry, CS Tricks, good to see you there as well. Thanks for joining in. And actually, CS Tricks just did a broadcast for us from Racer Focus just a moment ago in the XRS race. So thanks for tuning in still, and thanks for throwing down for us, showing us the suffering in the XRS just a moment ago with Mr. Casey Shum. We also do have the B category race that we are following here in Zwift, and it looks like up toward the front of that race, we do have, it looks like M. Stan coming out of Germany here. We're going to go ahead and head on over and swap to the B race momentarily here. This is a new feature actually in Zwift where they have the categories separated out, and the ability though to still see the other categories in the race. So up ahead you can see the A category racers as well as the B category racers just here, but then there's also the culling of all other riders out on course. So as you can see, I'm a part of the event here, so I can only see those who are in the B race, the C race, the D race, or the A race. And then I look around on course here from the helicopter view, and there's nobody else existent out on course. Now, there's actually probably over 1,000 riders out in the world of Watopia right now, all riding around. But the new feature actually makes it so that they cannot be seen by the riders in the race, so they cannot interfere with the race in any way, because there is drafting in the game of Zwift, and because of that, riders who are not a part of a race, if you could see them, could interfere with that race. So Zwift has actually just added the culling feature so that race organizers can make it so you can only see maybe there's a couple different settings. You can, in one setting, you can only see the riders who are in your specific event within the event, so you can only see the A riders and nobody else if you're part of the A group or B group or C group or D group. There's another setting where you can see all of the riders who are in the entire event but nobody outside of them, or you could just not turn the culling effect on at all and you can see everybody everywhere. And usually it's just for racing, because there's all different kinds of events. You've got group rides, you've got workout ride. Well, the group rides isn't out yet, but you do have people who do run workouts in group rides, and then you also have races, and races are definitely the one where you usually don't want to see anybody else. Group rides usually are not affected too much. So it looks like this is the lead group within the B category right now, and Verhoeven is here out of the Netherlands, hammering away in the B category. Definitely one to be watching out for at the front end of this race. We also do have, it looks like, a few innovation boys with B. Christensen. Looks like S. Trout is here as well as Roden, S. Hall. A lot of Vision Cycling's here with Sal Jason as well. I think we'll be watching out for him as well as the other Innovation boys for a battle to the line. BRT represented with Rick Barbera. Barbera always a solid rider in and amongst the groups here. Barbera, they're from the KRT team. As you can see, he's not in the KRT kit, but that he's actually most likely wearing his KRT kit, but he has the sprint jersey on. And that means he actually was awarded the fastest time for that section out on course today. And so if I go ahead and head back on over to the A category race, I can show you guys exactly what that is all about. So on the upper right above me here, there's a bunch of leading lists here for ranking of how fast people have done different sections of the course. Now they're not going through any of these sections today in this event, so we won't get those updated. But if you do go through them, with the fastest time, you are awarded a jersey in game for 1 hour straight. And so it looks like we did have Rick Barbera there, did go and do the sprint section prior to jumping into the race here today and had the fastest time and was holding on to that green jersey. You can actually get awarded those and take those down for 1 hour straight in game. So in a few different ways to have competitions actually out there. Minute Wave, I'm going to have to time you out, I think here. It looks like, oh no, not coming through any longer. So Thunder Gunrish, good to see you over there at the Mixer channel asking what game this is. So this is actually Zwift, a massive multiplayer online in which riders are actually putting out real power right now in order to hammer away in this massive multiplayer online. And so we do have, as you can see here, the real world effort here coming from Brandon, and I think he's about to head on uphill. And here it is. Whenever you're climbing, this is going to be the moment that we are going to see a lot of the power thrown down. Brandon going for it. Looks like he is throwing down. I saw him actually reach over a moment there for a power up, I believe. Yep, there it is. There he just actually used, as you can see right above me, the feather power up there in order to gain a little bit of, or actually lose a little bit of weight on his avatar here and get off the front just a little bit, 529 watts or so. It actually reduces his weight enough that he increases his power by 1 watt per kilogram. And so it does look like that feather power up was able to cause a little bit of a gap. We do have one rider behind them though, Manson there, now throwing down that arrow power up, just like in Mario Kart or a few other of those racing games where you can use some sort of a boost. You are able to grab those every time you go through a start-finish banner, a sprint banner, KOM banner, any of the banners that are out on course. They only go through one on the flat volcano course here, but they will be grabbing power-ups every time through. And it looks like Manson was using one, but did not get anywhere with it. Now it looks like going off the back a little bit. This is going to be the main place out on course that the riders will come into that they will try to make some things happen, because just like in real life, when you hit those climbs, you start heading uphill. Those are the moments at which you can make gravity work to your favor in order to try and break things apart. So Adam Webb there still with Fleetwood, it looks like, from Vision Cycling. They're in the blue Tron bikes there with the white and blue kits. We've got Innovation is out there as well in the Alienware kit, as you can see here, still represented. It looks like with, I would believe Richardson's probably still in there. There's one, yep, Gavin Richardson is in there, as well as Gavin Arbor. I'm not sure if, nope, the other Gavin, it looks like Thompson has fallen off pace, and that was from that kick into the volcano. Hodge is still hanging on after already racing twice today, 129 beats per minute, looking super strong still on the back here. Arbor and Melting Tallow now just ahead of him as they head through the tunnel here to finish up their first lap of 4-2 game today. We still have our social media integrations coming through here. Race Only Riders is about time. Sounds great. And fair Jens Fried Rasmussen's in here. Go Innovation, great result this morning. Let's replicate. And we've got Timothy Turman out there saying hello, as well as Heath Williamson saying, hey, Tim, how's it going, guys? Good to see you guys. We can bring your comments, questions, or picks in over from Twitter if you would like to do so at Z Community Live over at Twitter. We'd love to have you guys if you like. Mike Szymanski saying, go Brandon, over at the Twitch channel as well. Jack Rear there, looks like, over at the Mixer. How's it going? Good to see you tuning in for the race broadcast today. Now back with the B category, it does look like it is getting broken up just a little bit. The first one to bite the dust off the back, it looks like, will be Mchamaga here coming out of Spain, it looks like here, about 22 seconds back, out in no man's land. This is going to be a rough day for him, being a flat course here. 4.3 watts per kilogram or so. It's going to be a difficult day for him to hang on. We do have the attacks now starting as they make their way up into the volcano. This is going to be the next point of contention where they will start dropping some riders off. Doesn't look like anybody's going much of anywhere just yet. Verhoeven here at the front, actually, excuse me, Termont actually at the front here from Vision Cycling. 5 watts per kilogram, really starting to kick it in. And as we look over his shoulder, now the gaps are starting to be formed. It is 1 second, 2 second. The draft is no longer there. Rick Barbera trying to follow. He's up in the 4.4 watts per kilogram. Now remember, in the B category, these boys are assumed to only be able to hold 3.2 to 4.0 watts per kilogram. So definitely going into the red here, 178 beats per minute coming from Timothy Termont out of Belgium. They're Hinton following Verhoeven, and it looks like Barbera getting right back on terms. Gowland as well. It's going to be a rough day, I think, for them able to stay on terms, though. Burley Alfonso there with a Dorito over at the Twitch channel. Thanks a lot for the emotes there with the Doritos there, buddy. So now looking back, has anybody fallen off? It looks like the attack from Termont was able to bring off the back here the watts per kilogram boy, B. Roden, right along with H. Van Nucleus. Now, this is a kit I have not seen before. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I thought it was a watts per kilogram kit that they just got in, but it's actually the E. Fondo. Cycling Tipsy Fondo kit. So good to see them in that. Looks like he did complete that. Nice job to be Roden out there. Curtains there as well. They're going to form up this chase group of 4 and try and bring those boys back. Excuse me, chase group of 3 and try and bring those boys back. But now we do see Roden not really willing to work with the other riders. Kicking into 7.9 watts per kilogram, actually attacking them rather than working with them. He can see the riders up front. They're still within sight there as they take that left-hand turn just in a moment here into the tunnel. It is only 8 seconds. He's doing a solid 24, but as he backs off the 2.8 watts per kilogram, I'm not sure he's going to see them then again. Gowland now just barely getting back on terms, it looks like, with this group. He was falling off for a second there, but there he is in and amongst the front of the beast. Now another attack here coming from Hinton. 4.0 watts per kilogram. He's off the front by 6 meters. Stan gets right back onto that wheel, closes it down, and now they aren't going much of anywhere, but definitely still a straight line here, as you can see. A lot of innovation boys playing some cat and mouse as they make their way back over to the start-finish line. Back at the front, though, of the A race, we do have, again, James Hodges here actually sitting in, allowing that heart rate to just go as low as he possibly can. James Hodges, after already racing twice, looks like he's trying to play the smartest race he possibly can. Webb is there as well. Webb is, like, doing exactly the same thing. Being an extremely flat course. The riders who know what's up with Zwift are definitely trying to just rest up before any of the attacks, because the attacks on this course, because of the nature of it being so flat, they have to be extremely intense. They have to be everything you got, throw all your chips on the table in order to get a big enough gap, because that group is going to chase you down and work together to bring you right back in to the fold. We do have one off the front, though. Interesting to see here. I was not expecting this. Diasan here from Team AHDR, the Hawsey Hump Day ride team here, presented by Giant there, actually. Off the front, we do see Melting Tallow now going. Check it out here, boys and girls. Up and out of the saddle, full-on attack here coming from Brendan. 8.5 watts per kilogram. The avatars you can see above me representing that exact same effort, and he is full on looking for Hassan's wheel. Halstead here is now trying to go right along with Brandon at 8.4 watts per kilogram. They're into those orange numbers. They're dragging Curly right on up. Who's going to fall off from this attack, though? We are seeing Magnus there from ODZ. Barnett's going as well. Fleetwood now maybe going off the back, 173 beats per minute. Hodges is still there. Jay Lecoq now has been caught off guard, it looks like. If he does not grab a wheel and get pulled back up into there, he may be in a spot of bother, but 156 beats per minute. Not sure he's going much of anywhere. BRT, though, was definitely caught out from that attack, 5.0 watts per kilo, and they were able to shed one. A huge effort, though, from Brandon in order to get just one off the back. We'll see if he pays for that in the long run, as they all were caught back up to here. It looks like it was closed down by quite a few riders. A lot of riders still with a lot of matches at this point. It did at least put a little bit of hurt in the legs. Webb, though, gets right back on turns. Fleetwood there, up to 179. 150 there coming from Gavin Richardson, still looking fairly calm. AHDR here, though, with Hassan was just off the front, up into that 168 or so. Let's go ahead and see where Brandon is at after that kind of an effort, really throwing down. 163, calming down, though, it looks like, not too intense just yet. So and we're seeing Broly Alfonso saying 170 beats per minute from Webb. A laugh out loud, he is sleeping. Giant Ahmed said, the guy in the background jumping is Brandon in a submarine. I think he's in a hydro dam. Is he for real? Is that actually true? Maybe Brandon can hear me. He can give me a little nod. Let me know if he actually is in a hydro dam. He's kicking it, though. He can't give me any kind of a nod at this point. Look at the suffering trying to go up and over the top of the climb here. Brandon's really working hard. That is one of the deciding moments there out on course. Always in the flatter course, it's just those little tiny uphills, and here it's all about the continuance. But after those attacks through the underground tunnel, it's actually all coming back together. Nobody really seems too interested to start instigating anything whatsoever just yet. So solid efforts though there so far. We'll see back at the B category as they're heading into Ocean Boulevard and into the underground tunnel here. We do see Innovation back at the front with a tough here. And they have been dropping one or two off again, as we do have Curtin there off the back by 54 seconds or so. We still have Van Nucleus as well as Roden. And then we do have Chamaga, though, actually catching up to these riders. He was actually off the back and chasing them down. What an effort here coming from Spaniard here. 166 beats per minute. 2 seconds is the difference. Going to get back with them, it looks like, here, and be able to work together, maybe to bring a few back who might fall off the front end of this B race. He just gave us a little ride on, as you guys could hear there. You can actually give different kinds of signals and say different things with your avatar by going through the F1, F2, all the way through F10 buttons actually out on Zwift here. So 52 seconds up, though. This is the lead group amongst the Bs. Let's make sure to go ahead and check out what their metrics are all about over at ZwiftPower.com. ZwiftPower.com is actually a third-party site to Zwift that brings in all of the race results actually live, as well as keeps an entire record of all the races that all the riders have done, all of their metrics actually from those races. And we actually see what their max heart rates were, how many races they've won, how many races they've done. Great community resource actually for Zwift here. So Termont now, it looks like one of the favorites most likely to take the W here in the B race. Let's go ahead and see what his recent results have been like, though, out on Zwift. There's the live tab in the upper right hand corner. If you do click on the KISS Europe race over at ZwiftPower.com's front page, you're going to see a whole list actually of races over there. And looking up toward the front end of this B race, Timothy Termont, let's go ahead and see here, coming out of Belgium, riding for Vision Cycling. He's put out 3.3 watts per kilogram for the duration so far. He was up to about 166 beats per minute the last time they checked in, it looks like here. As they're about to head on up the climb here out of Ocean Boulevard, I think that heart rate's going to rise a little bit more. But Timothy Termont, it looks like in 91 races out on Zwift. He's got a cool little Lego avatar over at his Strava profile from the Vision Cycling team. 311 watt FTP, it says. He took a third in the EVR Europe race, actually, and that was just yesterday. Took a 12th in the KISS Europe race, it looks like, on Tuesday, and a second in the XRS Crit. So looking to get a win here. Last win that Termont has had was back in the Primal Europe Friday Criterium in the B race here. He is kicking it up on the climb here with Sal Jason, his teammate, the two Vision boys trying to go at this point. I wonder if they are in the Discord. We do have a Discord for Zwift Community Live, and they actually do have a team car in there. I am seeing Salvation as well as Termont here. They are going off the front. I'm going to actually jump in there, and they're going to be able to hear me in just a second here. We'll try and get a little bit of maybe a mid-race interview with them in just a moment here. If we can bring them into the broadcast, we'll see what I can do here. I did jump in the channel. I'm not going to make them live just yet, but it does look like Salvation and Termont do have some plans at 177 beats per minute. I'll leave those boys alone for just a moment. We'll get back with the front end of the B race, but we'll see what the plans are and how things are working out for them as they make their way to the line. We're back with the Melting Man here. It looks like up at the front still, looking strong, looking steady, looking super focused there with Brandon Melton-Tello and the rest of the KRT team, but he's going to have innovation to deal with, as we see here with Gavin Richardson right along with Arbor. They're going to be looking for the W's as well. Richardson qualified for the CVR event, the World Cup event in London, CVR London, actually, through racing out on Zwift. You do see him making his way to the front here. Always want to be watching out for the win out of the UK there. Webb, though, following very closely along with Fleetwood. The two Vision boys know those are the wheels to follow amongst innovation. There's definitely a strong rivalry between these two teams. Hassan now following up there from the AHDR, making sure that those teams don't get away. If they do so, it may be GG for the rest of the boys there. KRT following up as well on the blue Tron bikes and those blue kits as they make their way into the dust. You definitely do not want to lose any wheels through here, because this is the place where the dust does make it so you can't see a thing as far as the wheels up ahead of you. You can't lose those wheels through that. We do see a few riders maybe suffering a little bit from going into that dust, unable to see very clearly where the wheels are in front of them. It is Barnett as well as Hodges there. If you let it go here, you definitely can be in a lot of trouble, actually. It looks like he is right back on terms, though, as they make their way through the old Italian village and back toward the volcano for their second lap of 4 out here today out on Zwift. So we can go check our social medias as well as the chats here, see if anybody's chiming in. Etched Champions over at the Twitch channel giving us some Pog Champs. Good to see you there. Etched, as well as Johnny Noblet with some Ride-Ons and some NG Champs. Good to see Hangover Alan. How is it going? Steve 108 saying, what is this? This is Zwift. And after the next time through the volcano here, we'll give you guys a quick little video to give you an idea exactly of what you are looking at here over at the Mixer channel. It tends to be the place where we see that a ton. What is your gamer tag in the chat? So you want my Xbox gamer tag? Is that what you're talking about there, Fairy Celery? I can't remember what it is, actually. I'd have to double check. My kids are usually just Plants vs. Zombies lately over on the Xbox. Haven't been playing for a while. Mainly a PC guy here lately. Who is that guy on the bike in real life? Brandon Melting-Tello. So it seems that you guys need explanation for sure, as this Brandon Melting-Tello is actually the avatar. He is pedaling to control the avatar that we are looking at right now up above me. So the avatar that's above me right now is actually being powered by Brandon Melting-Tello right now, in conjunction with those efforts we're seeing in real life right now. So he's putting out 287 watts, 6.9 watts per kilogram as an attack now. Goes out the front from Webb now. Webb trying to loosen things up, it looks like here, prior to even going into the climb. Webb, he's been just waiting for this moment. Kicks into 10 watts per kilogram. As we said, all the chips on the table at the moment of an attack here. You can see the heart rate rising, rising, rising as he attacks into the climb. And he actually wants this effort to be forced to be longer than 30 seconds to a minute. That's why he's going from so far out, because it tends to be on a flatter course like this that you are unable to break things apart because it's such a short climb. So he goes ahead and he attacks prior to the climb and then continues it right on up into it. Now we do see Richardson right along with Arbor from Innovation trying to follow up. Hazelstead is there as well. Melting-Tello now with a solid effort up and out of the saddle trying to hold on. You can see the pain on the face here from Brandon trying to hang on to the wheels that are right in front of him. The heart rate's rising, 170 beats per minute here coming from Brandon Melting-Tello trying to hang on from the KRT team. The other boys there are dragging him right on up, it looks like, with that arrow power up. Looks like Manson here is going to shut it right on down with that arrow power up. The arrow power up actually reduces the drag on the avatar, so they are traveling faster. At least Manson is traveling faster. Curly getting an advantage from hanging on that wheel now, but it looks like they still got enough power to go right on by the power up, actually. Melting-Tello, Richardson, it looks like here, all still within contention. Hazelstead and Webb, they're still going up the front, but with only 4.3 watts per kilogram, and the rest of the boys chasing them down very quickly here. 31 miles per hour. So now we're seeing 29 here. They're calming it down. Hazel said now out of Norway, we say this often, it's a game of meters. 15 meters. It's only 10 before they have the draft again, but that is enough to make things happen still if they have the effort in the legs. It looks like the motivation to close this down has been brought back now at this point, but Manson kicks one more time knowing that they've got to do it now. They have dropped a few off, it looks like. Fleetwood now at 180 beats per minute, going full-on nuclear, blown up off the back. And now we do see Magnus there as well from the Magnus Mondays from ODZ. He actually runs a solid group ride on Mondays. Definitely want to check that out from ODZ. You can always see it in the events over at Zwift.com/events or on your Zwift mobile link, and join up actually through the Zwift mobile link to check out Magnum Mondays. Definitely highly suggested group ride from ODZ that they put on. But Magnus off the back doesn't look like the Mondays are keeping them amongst these boys, as they are flying through the volcano right now and right on out the other side at 28 miles per hour here. Webb now sitting right back in. This boy is definitely playing things tactical at this point. Sits in, waits, and when he throws down the attacks, they are everything he's got. The recovery now is in full effect. Arbor down to 157. We're seeing the Melty Man, after that effort to get back on turns, still hanging out up into that 165. He's going to have to calm down a ton. Keep that breathing steady here and really recover. Get some liquid in and maybe a little bit of sugar, as you've thrown down some serious efforts so far in order to just hang on at the front end of this group. Now we are seeing a few more chat coming through over at, it looks like, the face of the book here. We are seeing, actually it is just Zwift Community Live. Thanks for tuning in. Obviously, it was Zwift Community Live. We are seeing a few others there with Dale Graham saying, what do we got tonight? We've got the KISS Europe race tonight, boys and girls, over on Watopia for 4 laps of the Volcano Flat Course. So it is a lead group now at this point of about, I believe, 10, 11 riders so far. There is one rider actually just trying to sneak off the front here. This is actually a smart move. After all of those efforts, Gavin maybe just ramping it up just enough to not be of notice, right? So you don't throw it in those orange numbers. You don't really kick it too much. You kind of just sneak off the front. And everybody goes, oh, yeah, that's not going much of anywhere. 3 seconds, 4 seconds. No, it's not going to do anything. It's not going too hard. 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 10 seconds. Next thing you know, somebody's attacking at 8 watts per kilogram to close it down. They're gone off the front here. And as you can see, the gap continues to go out. Jay Lecoq, they're just setting it there at 4.0 toward the front end of the race here. They are starting to catch up to a few of the D-boys, as you can see here. Jay Kennedy, Netherly, as well as Savage in the D race. There's a few C races that are starting to catch as well just ahead. We are seeing a little bit of chat come here from Webb. Interesting to see that. I wonder what that's all about. We are seeing the attacks now in the B category into the Volcano, though. Let's get back in with those boys. As we do see up toward the front of the B category race, it is again Innovation battling it out with KRT. The Vision Boys were the ones on the attack up and through the 3% gradient out of the underground tunnel on Watopia here today, but now Sal Jason off the back with Termont there trying to hang on. 178 beats per minute. Sal Jason now trying to go as well. 6.3 watts per kilogram. Termont then off the back there 7.2 just to get back on terms. Not sure he's even going to be able to do so, as at the front of this race today we've got KRT, Barbera, and the others here really starting to kick the pace up. Knowing that the Vision Boys are off the back here, I think they do not want to slow down whatsoever. Again, remember, in the B category, if they are into 4-5 watts per kilogram, they are way over threshold. As the categories now, we should probably give a little bit of explanation of that, as the categories from the D category, C category, B category, and A category all have a different level, actually, of ability, of power that they can put out. And the way that you know what category to get into, actually, for racing or doing an event or a group ride out on Zwift is by the watts per kilogram that you can hold as a functional threshold power. Now, a lot of you who are like, what are you talking about? What is FTP? What is a functional threshold power? A functional threshold power, for those of you who are unfamiliar with what that is in training and cycling is how much wattage. So wattage above me is the measurement that is standard for performance in cycling, right? So wattage, if you are lifting 50 pounds, that's a standard, right? Pounds or kilograms. If you're lifting 50 or 100 kilograms, that's a standard of measurement of power. That's the same kind of idea in cycling. If you're putting out 190 watts, that is an objective standard of wattage that's going to move weight at a certain speed, right? And so in cycling, if you can hold a certain amount of wattage to how much weight you have on your body, that is going to give you a certain speed depending on all things being equal with the uphill gradient or the wind that's in your face or whatever else it is. So the way that things then are measured for what category that you should be in is your functional threshold power that's represented in a ratio that you see on the right-hand side there, continually changing all the time. So for 309 watts for Verhoeven, or 260 right now for a second there, on the right-hand side of the course there, you can see his ratio always changing there for his watts per kilogram ratio. Gavin Richardson as well, now up in the front end of the A category as well. You can see here 3.5 watts per kilogram, 4.5 watts per kilogram. That's his current ratio that he's holding. So the A category riders, then the assumption is that these riders have a functional threshold power, what they can hold for 1 hour straight, functional threshold power, what I can function at my threshold of power for 1 hour straight is going to be about 4.0 or higher for the A categories. You do actually can do an FTP test. If you can jump into the game, they actually have them in Zwift. You do an FTP test, probably one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life on a bike. You essentially go at all-out TT. It's not a sprint the whole time. If you're going to do an FTP test, it's more of I'm going to start out comfortably hard. I'm just going to get strenuously hard. It's going to be a 7 or 8 on a scale of 10 or about 10 minutes, and I'm just going to hold on through the rest. It's the fastest or highest pace, the highest wattage on average you can hold for about 20 minutes if you do a 20-minute FTP test. There's a few other FTP tests you can do as well, but that'll then give you a number. It'll estimate it in Zwift actually about what kind of FTP you have. And then once you know that, it'll give you a ratio. You can get that ratio by dividing the wattage that you hold for your FTP by your weight in kilograms, and bam, you've got your ratio. These boys, like I said, FTP 4.0 or higher. Pretty elite group of riders actually as the A category. But Cycling Made Social, it's all about everybody having someone to compete with out on Zwift. We've got the B riders here. They'll be able to hold 3.2 to 4.0 watts per kilogram for the duration of the race. We've also seen the C and the D category. We do not have coverage directly of them. We will be covering a little bit of the races as we do see them out on course. But the C category riders, they're able to hold somewhere between 2.5 and 3.2, and the D category riders 2.5 or less. So definitely something for everybody for racing or group rides, as group rides do happen based on watts per kilogram. A great example of that for maybe some of the riders who hold a little bit lower ratio of FTP would be the ZZRC ride or the World Social ride on the weekends. All about keeping everybody together, usually averaging between 2 and 3.0 watts per kilogram on those rides. Then you got things like the AHDR ride, which is a little bit faster ride and then has like a hot lap at the end. A lot of the ODZ rides are like that with the espresso laps, etc. So lots and lots of different things that you can do out on Zwift at all different ability levels. Actually, we do cover a ride that's a really great ride to jump into out on Zwift called the Zuskana's Zwift Fitness Ride. It's an introductory ride for women, and we will be covering more and more group rides next week. I believe we are going to have a PRL ride, Parental Ride London Lead Up Ride. I believe it will be next Wednesday as well. I think we also are going to start bringing in more rides that are about the espresso laps and a lot of introductory rides, so definitely keep an eye out over at ZwiftCommunityLive.com for our full schedule for everything getting updated. Awesome, loving it. Steve Conta is saying, good to see you there, Steve, over at the Facebook. Again, if you would like to involve in the social media integrations, you can do so by giving us a shout out either at the Facebook or by tweeting at us at Z Community Live. But good to see you there, Steve, as well as Matthew. And he's saying production level value keeps going on these broadcasts. Cheers. Thanks a lot, Matthew. Good to see you hanging out over at, and cheers on the comments, buddy. Good to see you at the Zwift Facebook. chiming in. We are live over on Twitch, Mixer, as well as with Facebook and YouTube. If you ever want to catch any of the replays of our broadcasts, either of our Racer Focus, our group rides, or our race broadcasts like this, you can find them over at YouTube/Zwift Community Live. What's going on, Bogus Moon? Dude, are you serious? I am definitely serious. I am as serious as it can get. This is most definitely Zwift online racing with real life efforts. We do see Brandon still able to hang in here, just barely, it looks like here. Here's his avatar, surrounded by a few other KRT riders here, hanging in after 2 laps. He's got a lap and a half to go. The effort is serious at this point. I'm hoping he's gotten a little bit of sugar or water now at this point in order to make this happen. And this isn't just playing. I'm not playing, so that's a little bit of confusion. I am not playing this game. My hands are only selecting riders. These riders are playing the game. I'm not playing. So that, yeah, Bogus. Bogus says, hold up, wait a second. Let's go ahead and show the Zwift promo, give you guys exactly an idea of what is going on here. But while these riders, this is a calmer point in the race, so we're going to go ahead and throw this down so you get exactly an idea of what is going on. This is a massive multiplayer online. All the riders on the right-hand side over there are real riders putting out real power with real heart rates from their homes right now. And as you can see, indoor cycling now done and cycling made social through the power of the internet and the power of bicycles mixed together here. We are right back with the real life effort here coming from Brandon Meltingtalo. He's still able to hang in with this lead group now at this point, it looks like, from that KRT team. It has been shedding riders, though, little by little. Fleetwood now off the back, as you can see. Webb is there with him. He's actually gone back to his teammate. That's interesting. Webb, one of the favorites, actually, most likely to win the race a lot of times, now has allowed himself to go back to his rider to encourage him on here from Vision Cycling, it looks like here. Solid. I'll give him a ride on, actually, in game. Nice job there, Webb, as well as Fleetwood. Dropped off the back, though, so nice effort out there today, but it looks like the Innovation boys are going to have the better of the Vision boys today. Always a rivalry between those boys, but now it's KRT versus Innovation, though, out on course. And now Meltingtalo does have, it looks like, Jay Lecoq in and amongst the group here today. I'm not surprised if Hodges has been dropped off, though, as he's already raced twice today. I'm only seeing 2 KRT boys in there with Brandon able to make this happen. So it's going to be up to Brandon versus the other. I wonder if Brandon's going to have a little bit of extra motivation out there today to try and get the W, knowing that he's live in front of the audience here. Usually it's just his avatar. Today we've got the real life effort, and we'll see if he can make that happen now. We do have Richardson, though, always one to be watching out for. Manson as well. I'm going to double check here real quick what the results have been for a few of the riders here out on course that are amongst the lead group right now. Up toward the front, I am seeing it does look like Manson, he's got a 5th, a 7th, and a 3rd in recent results, actually. He's riding for Velocity, actually, out of the United Kingdom, 74 races total, FTP of 382 watts. He took a 2nd in the WBR 3 laps. EVR Europe race, a hotly contested race, a lot of times took a 10th place, actually, in that. So, Nicky Manson here, definitely one to be watching out for, I think, for the W, as I am seeing quite a few results that are on the podium from him. As I move my way through here, I'm seeing a win back in the WBR flat. Top 10s, though, mainly in the higher end races. I am seeing XRS races, a 10th and a 12th. KISS Europe on Sunday, a 5th. EVR Europe race, a 10th. All the wins are in the WBRs. Those are not quite highly as contested as an EVR, an XRS, or a KISS race out on Zwift. We are seeing, going from way out here, Gavin Richardson right along with Arbor, actually. They're trying to make things happen, it looks like, prior to the climb again. Always a smart move, as the climb is very, very short. They do have the KRT boys, 2 of them there, working against them. Hassan there from the AHCR team now pulling the boys back up. You can see there from the helicopter view, the gap's now starting to form. Let's see how this works out as they make their way into the climb now. Up at the front there, Innovation, they're still 5 watts per kilogram. We should see the orange numbers. When you see the orange numbers on the right-hand side, you know that they're going super, super hard. We do see Brandon here up and out of the saddle as they make their way into the climb here, giving everything he's got into the pedals. Now, he does not have a feather power up. The suffering there on the face there, trying to hold on to Haselsted's wheel right in front of him there. Will he be able to hold on is the question. He's made it all the way through for 3 laps now over these climbs, but this is the 3rd time coming through at this point. They're going to have 1 lap to go after this. It's a 31-mile race total. Brandon back at the front there, not going anywhere. Looks like he's going to be able to hold on, but this second tier in the climb is the hardest one for sure. If there's a second kick here from Innovation, I'm not sure it's going to happen. Now, Gavin Arbor there just ruining himself on the front. Looks like not going to be decorating the field there at this point, as we do have Melting Man still able to hang on right along with Richardson. Webb off the back there, not a threat any longer. I think a lot of the boys are going to have a sigh of relief not having Webb in amongst this group today. So we are getting a few more questions that are coming through over at the Twitch channel, as well as the Mixer channel we are seeing. Bogus, good to see you over there. And AJ Allison as well. Good to see you at the channel. Brad Curtis is there as well. Anyone hearing about dropouts with the Kicker 2 head 3? Sorry to hear that, Brad Curtis. I have not, actually. Altegra STI hanging out over at the Twitch channel. It's good to see you there as well. And we are seeing, let's keep looking through some of the past results for these riders. Always good to see who's going to be the favorite. I'd be interested to see what Gavin has been up to lately. Mr. Arbor as well as Richardson from the Innovation team here out on course. I am opening up. It looks like Arbor here, 69 races out on course, coming out of the United Kingdom. A 5th, an 11th, and a 7th, actually. So hasn't grabbed any podiums as of lately. Maybe going to have the chance here, as they've definitely whittled down this race to just a few riders now at this point. Looking from the top here, we are seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 riders in and amongst the lead group still. He's got a 1 in 10 chance at this point to throw down. He does have a teammate to work with, but I think Richardson may be the stronger of the 2. Let's see if Richardson or Arbor are able to pull this off for the Innovation boys today. Looking through the results, I'm trying to find Richardson's avatar here in and amongst the boys, not the avatar, but the link for his name. I'm not seeing him pop up into the results though just yet. There's Richardson. Now we've got him. And it looks like Richardson, as of lately, 124 races out on Zwift. That is a lot of Zwift racing there out of the United Kingdom, riding for Innovation. Took a 3rd in the XRS crit back on the 2nd of July. He took a 2nd in the KISS Europe race, actually. This race just 7 days ago, it looks like, actually. So looking to better that result, maybe. And he looks like he also took a 3rd in the KISS Europe race on Tuesday of last week as well. So no W's as of lately, except for the WBR 1 lap and the WBR 4 lap back on June 14th. We'll see if Richardson can grab a W he's been looking for over a month now, it seems like. So Haselstead now just hanging on. Richardson keeps on just floating off the front here. Being a flatter course, I'm not sure he's going to have the sprint for this. I think Richardson does excel maybe on the hillier courses here. Brandon, I think, maybe being one of the favorites today, perhaps in a sprint finish, but he's going to have to hang on to the finish here. We'll see if he can make that happen. Jay Leclerc there as well, hanging on the back, 163 beats per minute. Coming into the last lap, one to go, boys and girls. They're going to be looking for that RNG again. They pull through these these start-finish banners, and every time they do so, they're able to grab a power-up. And the KISS races do allow power-ups. Some of the races actually do take power-ups out of the races on purpose, actually, as they do not want to have any kind of RNG, any kind of random number games. I've of the opinion that it makes it more like real life to have the power-ups, because there are definitely random number games that do happen in real life. When a headwind, a crosswind, where you find yourself during those times, how you tactically play that. There's definitely tactics that are played out with power-ups in the game. A little bit of randomness is most definitely like real life to me. Some of them like just more of a pure effort, mano a mano. What do you got versus what do I got? I wouldn't say that that's more like real life, because that's definitely not like how things are played out in real life. As far as from my experience, things are a little bit more, little random here and there. There's definitely a mano, but there's definitely some things that get thrown at you that you just got to deal with at times. But when it comes to just what do you got versus what I got, that definitely is able to be experienced in a more controlled environment, actually, in Zwift. So if you're just looking for what kind of power this rider has versus that rider, that Zwift can definitely afford that opportunity. And there are races out there that are like that. Friday Criterium, as well as the XRS races, make it so it's more of a just straight power versus power, no power-ups allowed in those races. But the KISS races, full-on, gamified. What do you got? Let's see if you got any power-ups to throw down. We'll see if anybody did grab any going into this final lap, as we did see a lot of them thrown as they headed into the volcano last time with the arrow as well as the feather power-up. The strongest power-up most definitely being the arrow power-up, reducing that CDA and grabbing a ton of speed, especially on this course when they kick up and over the top of the climbs and then have that continuance on the other side when the heart rates have been thrown into their maximum or up toward the max, and then you got nothing left and somebody pops an arrow power up and increases their speed and attacks one more time. That's usually when the gaps go out. They're all back together though. Grupo Compacto, 161 beats per minute coming from Jay Leclerc here as they back off to 3.4 watts per kilogram. Everybody starting to allow those heart rates to come down as they make their way into the underground tunnel here onto Ocean Boulevard. They've got just about 6 miles to go to the finish, 31 miles per hour up to the front, and still 10 riders looking for those top spots in the A category. Back with the B category riders, we are seeing, actually we're back with Webb here, and we actually ended up back in the back into the start-finish gate. We'll see if we can get out of here. We do have a group ride about to start, it looks like, with, I think, a women's ride, actually, out on course, as well as a GDRF ride. This is actually kind of cool. It's not cool that I ended up back at the away from the B category race, but you guys can actually see how events start. That's definitely something we could show you while we're waiting for the attacks to start in the A category race. The JDRF Team Type 1 group ride looks like it's about to take off. Really cool organization and team out on course that raises awareness for type 1 diabetes, actually. It does look like Tim Bacon, Cyril Bacon, the leader of the AHDR, is actually out there about to do the ride. We'll give him a ride on. Cool to see him out there as well. It looks like there was a women's ride that was about to start, actually, too. They're actually hanging out on trainers, on their trainer, in the start area for this ride out there today. It does look like there's quite a few AHDRs now jumping in and amongst these boys here. There is a women's ride that looks like about to take off. I think this may be a ZA ride, actually, as we do have Michelle Crick, I believe, here. She's leading a lot of the ZA rides. I believe that's Michelle here right next to Lindsay's avatar. In the game, I do log into Lindsay's account to get the other perspectives there from the events. As you can see, though, this is where they start up for the events. A couple events about to start from the piers there. Back with the front end of the A race, though, as we can see Jay Leclerc here from the KRT with Richardson, Hasselstead, and Manson. They're about to attack. The nerves are most likely to start up here. Let's see the focus here as Brandon's here trying to hold on to a few wheels. Where is his avatar at is the question. at the back of the group here, letting that heart rate calm down, waiting for the attacks to happen. 145 beats per minute, as you can see here from Brandon. It's been 3 times up and out of Ocean Boulevard on this climb, going for a 4th in just a moment here. We'll see what the effort's going to look like in just a second, as the attacks are most likely going to start. Who's going to kick it off here? Hazelstead up toward the front, 5.4 watts per kilogram. No orange numbers just yet. Up and out of the saddle. There it is. Now we see the effort, and we do see Brandon now still seated, though. I think that might be the smart way to go, not getting up and out of the saddle. That does reserve from some energy, actually, if you do not kick it into a standing position. Able to hold on, it looks like here, the Melting Man going right along with the rest of the boys. Nobody's going anywhere just yet. Staying calm. A little bit of a smirk there coming from Brandon as he's able to hang on to the wheels there. Now having to get up and out of the saddle, though, it looks like, in order to hang on to the attack. As I said, this is the crucial point here out on course, whether or not you have the continuance up and over the top. Only 162 beats per minute. A little bit of frustration on the face there for a moment. Maybe really suffering now at this point. We'll see if he takes a drink and able to hang on, though. Still, we are seeing Webb there kicking it up into the 10 watts per kilogram, still off the back. Maybe looking to bring somebody back who might fall off the pace here from the front runners, though. Melty Man still in there. Jay Lecoq, Jehu is there as well. Hassan is Hazelstead. Let's get a prediction. Will it be Innovation? Will it be Vision Cycling? Or will it be somebody else unattached from this front group? Innovation, Vision, or an unattached rider for the win today? Will Brandon be able to take it on from our live racing coming out of Canada there for today? We'll see if our racer focus with Brandon will have a little motivation to take the W out on course today. We are seeing it saying they play a sport game when they should go outside. I don't know about that, JDG. Another cycling outdone, indoor cycling outdone. If it's raining, if it's dark, some of these guys might be in Australia. I think it's dark. It might be dark there or morning there, actually. Or raining, or maybe they're in a city where it's very difficult to find anywhere to go that's not dangerous. There's a lot of reasons to ride, as well as the reality. Ian Anderson has a really great comment this morning. He pedaled for over an hour straight through, no braking whatsoever, absolutely hammering at 3.0 plus watts per kilogram all the way through. Focused training on the turbo is proven absolutely hands down to be some of the best training that you can do, that it actually outdoes outdoor training in some respects. The Zwift effect is a real thing. Personally, as a professional rider, my best results of all time in my career have been in the last 2 years, actually, of using Zwift. And so it's most definitely one of the best ways to find the best fitness. Now, as far as enjoyment goes, that's a whole nother story, and that's a personal matter. Ice cream, chocolate, or vanilla. What do you like? That has more to do with it than it does whether or not an ought to in the reality of using a newer way of cycling, which is cycling with indoor cycling outdone here. Now at the front, now we do have D Hassan there out of Australia, 2.6 watts per kilogram, hammering away here along with Manson. And and that is a discussion actually that comes up a ton. We actually talk about it a lot on the Zwiftcast as well as on our web show. We'll probably have some discussions about that coming up in 2 weeks. It'll be, I think our first web show is going to be launched actually on Wednesday the 19th. Actually, should be watching out for that. For a bringing in of a lot of the Zwift leadership actually amongst the community. We'll be having Shane Miller, the Llama, as well as Simon Schofield, and quite a few others jumping in for the web show that we will be launching actually on the 19th of July. Actually, we'll have discussions about all of that stuff. Thanks a lot for the link there, Rogers, for the Zwiftcast. Definitely check out that podcast where we discuss a lot of that stuff. We are taking almost a Zwift Community Live type cast, though, web show, and we'll be bringing the same personalities into that as well. It is an amazing podcast. Thanks a lot for shout out there, Rogers, over at the Mixer channel. All right, Hazelstead, it looks like things have kind of calmed down at this point. Everybody's still with a little bit of jitters, man, waiting at this point for the moment to kick. But Manson here still up in that 175 beats per minute, 416 watts here coming from the UK rider, trying to break things apart. It actually, it looks like, not calming anything down. It looks like the Melting Man a little bit off the back here. 1 second, though. And not actually hanging in amongst the group here. Curly, I think, is one to watch out for. always involved in the sprints here. M. Curley here coming out of Australia. International field, able to race each other from all over the world here. That's one of the most amazing things, actually, is the connection between all these riders. They are able to race each other from all over the world. We've got Canada. We've got Australia. We've got the UK. We've got Norway. We've got, it looks like, who else is involved here? Sweden there, up toward the front as well, with Waldorf there. And actually, I haven't actually, where did this rider come from? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Sweden involved in this race here. We'll see if he's able to pull something off here. Not actually a rider I've taken notice of, actually. Not a rider I've seen a whole lot of, actually, out on course either. Not a name I'm super familiar with. 143 beats per minute, looking super comfortable at this point. Let's see where he is standing for some past results out on Zwift. Waldorf coming out of Sweden here. We are seeing 3.8 watts per kilogram from him so far. And it looks like Lars Waldorf, 27 races out on Zwift, so definitely a newer rider to the racing out on Zwift. Took a 19th, looks like, in the SCR sub. WBR 4 flat, third place, followed by a WBR 4 the day before, back on June 23rd. Looking through SCR summer races, took a 14th back on June 7th. So I'm only seeing one win in a WBR. We'll have to see if he can take a win here today in the KISS Europe race. He did do the KISS Europe back on the 29th of June, 24th. So definitely a much better result here coming for the Swedish rider. We'll see if he's able to take a podium spot here in just a moment. We're coming into the last section of the course where they can really make any kind of a break. It's going to be one more time into the volcano for the A riders here. We've got our rider on board here with Brandon Meltingtalo from the KISS Racing team, still able to hang on at this point. We're going to have one last kick. We'll see if he can make this happen here for the finish up and into the volcano now. We've also got his teammate Jay Lecoq there, able to hang on. We'll see if we get a lead-out train for the KRT boys, but Innovation still hanging tough. We've got Haselstedt as well. Waldorf is in there. We've got, let's shout them all out. Curley is able to hang on. Hassan is there as well from Team AHDR. Be watching out for him as well as we look over the shoulder there. They're all calming down. Look at the cadence. Nice and slow, 71, 72, nothing too intense at this point. They're all trying to calm down, bring those jitters down, bring the heart rates down, and reserve as much energy as they possibly can before they kick it for that one last time into the volcano. Things are about to heat up next to the lava here, boys and girls. We're going to see who's going to take the W here in the last few K. It's just going to be 2 miles to go. About 4 to 5K to the finish line now. Arbor now making his way to the front. Innovation starting to position themselves. We do see Hassan now making his way to the front. You don't want to be caught off the back now. Curley actually 1 second back now. Now trying to make his way forward just a little bit. Innovation at the back here. We do see Gavin Richardson, 129, boys and girls. I think we're about to see bombs explode. People are going to be going nuclear. They're going to be going off the back. They're going to be going off the front. The fireworks are about to happen here, boys and girls. Hassan now 3.7 at the front. He's got a... Now, from the front to the back now, there is a gap at this point. Richardson may be rested up, but he's got some meters to make up at this point. Now up and out of the saddle, we do see Richardson starting to bring the wattage now. 7.9 watts per kilogram. Here goes Richardson. There's the attack now. We're seeing the right-hand turn up into the climb. He's already got a gap now. HDR trying to follow, but Richardson's got 2 seconds already. As you can see here, look at the gap open up there from Richardson. Melting Man up and out of the saddle, trying to make this happen now at this point. And is it going to happen, though? It's 2 seconds. Manson's there. We do see Curley with the power-up, though, with that feather power-up, bringing his avatar up that climb. 173 beats per minute. The Melting Man trying to make it happen still. Up and out of the saddle. Melting Man now absolutely killing it. Waldorf at the back. Not sure he's going to close this back down. 2 seconds is the gap now. Curley still hanging on here, it looks like. Manson there up toward the front. Jay Lecoq. Richardson still off the front, though. 6.0 watts per kilogram. He's got a 2 second gap. The Melting Man is right on his tail, though, it looks like here, trying to chase this back down. 169 beats per minute. Look at him trying to grab as much air as he possibly can. The heavy breathing at this point, just trying to hang back onto the lead of Richardson. Closing it down, it looks like it's all back together almost, but Richardson off the front, 6.2 watts per kilogram all day long. 436 watts now, backing up to 4.3, now kicking again, 6.0. He keeps on kicking over and over again to try and break these boys off. There's a 5-second difference now. Not sure they're going to see Richardson again. They're backed off to 4.0 watts per kilogram. Curly as well, Hazelstead as well now, and he's got 6 seconds. He keeps on kicking little by little there from Gavin Richardson. 6.2 now 4.6, 6.2 4.6, 6.5 now 4.0. Over and over again with these little kicks into 400 watts. It's really fluctuating a lot there, and now we do see Hassan here. It looks like they're going to just let Richardson go now out to 7 seconds now. Hassan now 163 beats per minute. Those look like the melting man now up toward the front now with one more kick, 6.1 watts per kilogram, wanting to close that down as Richardson's going off the front. Now he's attacking these boys. Curly now going right along with him here. As we can see the suffering on the face. Here's a real life effort coming from the melting man as we do see 5.8 watts per kilogram, 167 beats per minute. That's what 167 looks like. He's shifting now. He actually shifted down, looking for a better cadence maybe at this point, as the effort is just through the roof at 167 beats per minute. I'm not sure they're going to see Richardson again. If we see some aero power-ups, though, and a few riders make their way to the front and start to work together, Innovation's not going to be chasing down their teammates. We do see Arbor in and amongst the group here at 168. You know they're not going to be working. He's not going to be working at least to bring the front man back in. 7 seconds is not enough breathing room, though, if we do get a effort from the group to start working together and start to bring a lead out train into the front end of this pack. 351, 470, 351, 426, all over the place though with that effort. Definitely suffering at this point with Gavin now. And now it's only 6 seconds though. Can he hold on to it? We do have AHDR now making his way to the front now. This is going to be the moment of truth, whether or not Gavin can hold this down. 3 seconds to Jehu. Jehu's been attacking off the front now. And it looks like Jehu's actually a lapped rider. No, Jehu is actually closing it down, 2.4. We are seeing Manson now up at the front now, actually jumping all over the place. Jehu's actually off the back, excuse me, as there was some sort of a mix-up there between the riders. Now 6.3 watts per kilogram. We are seeing here from the Team AHDR rider. He's leading it out here, 175 beats per minute now. This is the aero power-up now. They're up in that 36 miles per hour. Richardson, though, 10 seconds. They're not going to see him again. Hazelstead going from way out 300 meters. The melting man trying to make it happen. Up and out of the saddle. Everything he's got now at this point, absolutely kicking it, as you can see here. Here's a real life effort for a sprint to the line, but it's going to be Curly out of nowhere. AHDR Curly actually, I think, was able to take that from the rest of the riders that are at the finish. What a crazy sprint finish. Sorry I didn't get exactly the finishing moment there. I believe it was Gavin Richardson across the line, followed up there by Curly, and then I believe it was the AHDR rider. We'll have to see. Solid effort there coming from Brandon across the line, and it looks like we did lose him there for a second there. Solid, but great job to Gavin. Gavin Richardson, but as well as Brandon Melting-Tallow across the line. We'll wait for the rest of the riders as they bring it in for the A category. Actually, we do spot Tim Cartwright out on course, not racing. KRT there, 135 beats per minute. Looks like he's doing a recovery ride. Let's go ahead and see what happened with the finish up. It was definitely a crazy cluster there at the end of the race. I am seeing, I believe, Gavin Richardson, yep, first place across the line. It was only about 1 second, though. They were able to bring it back in within a second there. But it will be Gavin Richardson, followed by Damian Hassan, Team HDR. I did call it correctly there. Team HDR, first, second place, followed by Curly. Then it was Hazelstead. Hazelstead had a huge effort right at the finish there, up into that 14 watts per kilogram, but wasn't able to hold on to that effort or close it down to Richardson. So first place goes to Gavin Richardson, followed by Damian Hassan, Michael Curley, and then Eric Hazelstead. We're going to go ahead and turn around here, see if we can find the B riders out on course in just a moment. We do have Webb here just crossing the line, followed by New C. Looking back here, we do have Papa along with Termont there, trying to bring it into the finish line. I think Termont was dropped off, actually. Now we're back with the B-Riders. We're able to find them. Hinton now, one last time into the Volcano now, 29.3 into the course now. Do have Stan there just hanging on with Rittervold from Innovation now. We do have, it looks like Carlson, and it looks Stan Payne as well. So many Innovation in boys amongst the group here. So Jason is there as well. I think Termont is off the back at this point. I'm going to go ahead and listen in now real quickly here as so Jason, I know, is in and amongst the lead group. Termont, can you hear me? Are you there, Timothy? I know I got you in the Discord. I believe you can hear me at this point. Termont, how's it going? I think Sal Jason has gone off the front. Let me see if I can get these boys. Great, good to hear you there, Termont. So it looks like you were working for Sal Jason to get him into that break at this point. Looks like he's looking fairly comfortable sitting in. You think you can take the sprint here today? He's going to take it. Full confidence from Timothy, saying that Sal Jason's going to take it. He's got 149 beats per minute. Sal Jason, before you do the sprint, can you talk even? I don't know if Sal Jason has a mic or he can bring it through, but let me know, how are we feeling for the sprint here as you're coming into the final mile or so? See if we can bring up the volume here just a little bit. But Sal Jason, good luck, man, in the sprint. We do have definitely a lot of trainer noise in the background there coming out of Norway, but we do have him live in the Discord here. We'll try and get maybe an interview at the finish now. He's going to have to follow wheels, though, so no talking now, Sal Jason. Going to have to follow the wheel. Don't worry about hitting that push to talk button. Push the pedals button is what we're going to have to see right now as he makes his way into the finish line. I'll go ahead and deafen my mic to you guys, as I do not want to bring you guys into, I do not want to interrupt you guys too much. Stand now 8.2 watts per kilogram into the finish line. Oh, and you guys do not have the Discord. Sorry about that, guys. You guys aren't hearing them right now. Sorry about that. We did not bring the Discord in. They were saying, Timothy was saying that he's got full confidence in Sal Jason to take the win here. So Jason sounded like he's feeling fairly confident at this point, but definitely kicking it on that trainer. He's got a lot of Innovation boys up toward the front of the race, though. Not sure they're going to be able to pull this off. We'll have to see how the finish ends up here at the line, though. So Jason now still hanging on. We are seeing him at the back, 150 beats per minute now. Up to the front now. Barbera there as well. A-Tough. And then Hinton. I hear through the team car right now saying on the wheel, on the wheel. We've got the aero power-ups going now, and I think Sal Jason might have been caught off guard now at the back. We've got orange numbers like crazy now. 187 beats per minute here coming from Carlson. He's got a huge gap. I think this is too big to close down at this point now. 43 miles per hour. Now here comes the rest of the Innovation boys trying to close it down. And now Stan now 8 watts per kilogram. Now they're starting to fade at this point. Innovation's got it all day long at the front end of this group. But it's now 200 meters to the line. Where is the Vision boy now? 618 watts, not going to happen. Up toward the front, it's going to be Carlson, followed by Rittervold, and then Hinton. 1, 2, 3. Actually, might have been nipped at the line there by Lewis. We'll have to see how it plays out. That was so painful. 181 beats per minute amongst these boys. And I forgot, sorry about that, guys. We didn't have Discord coming through onto the broadcast, but I did hear them chatting a little ways through encouraging each other on in the Discord channel. If you haven't tried using Discord while racing, definitely something you guys and gals want to check out. We do have a Discord channel you can jump into and use, actually, a Zwift Community Live one. Make sure to go ahead and find that at our website, ZwiftCommunityLive.com. You head on over there. There's a bunch of little links, actually, on the front page, and you can find all of our places that we broadcast, as well as our Discord channel. Jump on into Discord server. We've got channels for all the teams that have asked for one, as well as the group rides. Great place, great community hub to hang out, as well as find other riders to ride with live and communicate with while you are in game. Looking through here now, we're going to see what the results are. All the riders are cooling down. You can see the heart rates coming down at this point as they look for a little bit of refreshment. And we do see it was Nick Halson, followed by Geir Rigdervold, and then it was Adam Lewis, the BRT boy, just nipping innovation at the line for that third place, followed by Bracken Christensen and Andrew Hinton there for the top 4 and 5 places respectively. Nice job to all the riders there in the B category. Lots of questions here, it looks like, coming through, and comments over at the social media there. Zahir Rahman saying, thanks, Nathan. Good job. Carrie, good to see you there. Carrie Konebear, one of the qualifiers there for the CVR World Cup. Good to see a lot of CVR World Cups actually hanging out in the broadcast here. Joe Gavin Richardson with the win. Threw some emojis out that don't come through, actually. Carrie Konebear saying, go, go, Gavin. Killing it. Kevin Steven there saying, vision to win with Webb, I suppose. Nope, actually not tonight. It looks like they had a solid effort there coming through from the Innovation boys and able to pull it off. Nice one to Rich coming there from Zahir. So thanks a lot, guys, over at the Facebook for tuning in as well as for your comments. Again, this is Zwift. For those of you who just tuned in, so many questions coming through at the Mixer channel. If you haven't checked it out already, we're going to play a promo for you, but real quick, thanks everybody for tuning in. And as always, you can always check out all of the coverage that we have of all of the racing on Zwift Community Live over at our Facebook or on our website, ZwiftCommunityLive.com. I'm Nathan Guerra coming at you from Zwift Community Live headquarters here. Great job to all the racers, as always. Next up, we will have tomorrow the Friday Criterium TFC. We will be covering that at, I believe it is 7 p.m. British Standard Time or 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time, Central Standard Time over on the over in the U.S. here. Kara Coney Bear saying, thanks, Nathan. Hope Lindsay is getting better. She's doing much, much better. She's actually performing at Summerfest tonight. For those of you in the Milwaukee area, I think she's performing right now, actually. If you're at Summerfest, happen to be tuning in, you can actually go check her out. I believe she's performing over at, what is the tent? Oh, man, I'm not sure. Check out her Linden page. I've been sharing it up on my profile. I have an open Facebook profile. The Linden page has actually been sharing up on Facebook. She's also sharing up on her Facebook page as well if you want to go check out her performance. So she's been killing it on the singing. Backing off on the mountain bike, though, a little bit after 2 concussions. A third one, long-term effects, but she's definitely getting better. She's done a great job. She actually talked about it actually on Life and Cycling with Mrs. Coach. Coming back from concussions was actually a broadcast we just did on Tuesday where she rode on, that's a feature actually on our Zwift Community Live broadcast where she hangs out, does a ride on Zwift, and chats about a topic, kind of a web show, more chat ride that she does. We might turn it into a little bit of a group ride as well, or start running a group ride with Lindsay as well. But great little chat about concussions and how to come back from them. She's done a ton of research on that. She's come back from one in the past. Now she's coming back very quickly from this one, from a little bit of a change up in her diet and allowing the body to naturally produce some things that heal the brain, actually. So definitely a great episode to check out, Life and Cycling with Mrs. Coach. The VOD can be found on YouTube if you are interested in coming back from concussions information. So again, as always, great job to all the riders out there. And as usual, guys, a big, huge ride on. We'll see you tomorrow for the TFC.
Last year, Zwift Academy opened its doors, launching a groundbreaking worldwide talent search to find the next pro rider for Canyon SRAM racing. The competition exceeded all expectation. Over 1,200 women from 51 countries signed up to take the challenge in Zwift. In a truly grand finale, on the island of Majorca at Canyon SRAM's training camp, Leah Thorvaldsen of Little Rock, Arkansas, was crowned 2016 Zwift Academy champion and the newest member of Canyon SRAM racing. This year, it could be you.
Oh wow, I could have a shot at a pro contract, but it's for anyone. It's a huge step forward in your own fitness, and so it's not all just about the one person who's going to get a pro contract. It's a win for everyone who's involved.
Zwift Academy is this great program where Zwift is trying to get the women more involved. It's just this huge, to me, a great community. There's women coming up going, I get how this could fit into my life.
What I think is so nice about Zwift Academy, I really think that it was inspiring lots of women to take part in this adventure. Maybe they've gone far beyond their own expectations.
How far I got in Zwift, there were 1,200 females that joined, and there were 100 females that finished Zwift, and I can't believe I was one of them.
Yes, it's hard. Come on, you can do it, you know, just do your best. Because it's not just the physical side, it's the determination and to boost your confidence in anything else you do, not just cycling.
Find out how strong you really are. Find new friends from around the world. Find out if you have what it takes to go pro.
Do not wait, just follow your dreams.
Be the best cyclist you can be. Head over to academy.zwift.com to find out more and sign up today.